In the heart of Lagos, a city where ambition never sleeps, where traffic itself has a personality, and where people chase dreams like their lives depend on it, lived a man named Emeka Obi, a billionaire tech genius who shocked the entire world with one unbelievable decision. He secretly became a delivery rider. Not because he went broke. Not because life humbled him. But because love, true, honest love, kept escaping him like smoke in the wind. This is the story of how one of Nigeria's brightest minds traded luxury for sweat, speed, sunburn, and the rough streets of Agege, all in search of a woman who would love him without knowing his name or his bank balance. Emeka had everything. Private chefs. Luxury cars. A penthouse in Ikoyi that overlooked the lagoon. He built one of Africa's biggest tech companies, an online payment system used by millions. At just 30, he was already one of the youngest billionaires on the continent. But behind all that glitter was a man who felt painfully alone. He had dated women who pretended to love him. He had dated women who loved only the idea of him. He had been used, lied to, and disappointed so many times that money began to feel like a curse rather than a blessing. The final heartbreak came from a woman he had genuinely cared about. She had looked him in the eyes and said, "I don't care about your money." Yet she was secretly plotting with her friends, calculating how to pressure him into buying her a house in Lekki as a relationship gift. That night, Emeka arrived home early. His penthouse felt colder than usual. He stood on his balcony, staring at the glowing city beneath him, and made a decision that would change his destiny forever. "If they only love the billionaire," he whispered, "then I have to stop being him." The next morning, Emeka put a plan into motion. He stepped back from daily operations at his company. He shut down his social calendar. He dismissed his driver for a 3-month vacation. He packed a small bag with only simple clothes. And then he did the unthinkable. He left Ikoyi. He drove himself all the way to Agege, a place bursting with life, loud buses, street hawkers, smoky suya stands, and people hustling from dawn till dusk. He rented a small one-room apartment with a bathroom so tiny he had to bend to shower. The landlord, unaware of who he was, gave him one look and said, "If you no get money to pay steady, abeg no stress me." Emeka smiled. Nobody had spoken to him like that in years. He bought a used Bajaj motorcycle from a mechanic whose oily hands never stopped moving. The man slapped the bike twice and said, "She go serve you. No do pass yourself." Then Emeka signed up with a delivery company. He filled out the form like every ordinary Lagos rider: name, age, no criminal record, next of kin. Nobody recognized him. Nobody cared. They handed him a faded delivery jacket and a green helmet. As he wore them for the first time, he felt strangely free, freer than he had felt in a long time. His double life had officially begun. At 6:30 the next morning, he started his first delivery shift. Within 1 hour, Lagos welcomed him the way only Lagos can, mercilessly. The sun hit him with no pity. The traffic boxed him in. Downfall drivers insulted him even when he didn't cross their path. Pedestrians walked like the roads belonged to their ancestors. Car owners opened their doors without looking. And the customers. Some acted like kings receiving a servant. Some shouted before even opening their gates. Some ordered him to wait small while they finished makeup inside. But Emeka learned quickly. He navigated the roads like a man reborn. He experienced Lagos with a rawness he had never known. For the first time in his life, nobody called him sir. Nobody tried to impress him. Nobody pretended around him. He was just the delivery guy. At first, he felt embarrassed. Humiliated even. But over time, something unexpected began to happen. He felt alive. He laughed at the chaos. He enjoyed the way fellow riders joked and teased each other. He appreciated small things: cold pure water, shade trees, friendly customers, the taste of roadside puff-puff. And slowly, he started to see life through different eyes. He saw how hard ordinary Lagosians worked. He saw how people hustled with courage despite the heat, stress, and unpredictable economy. He saw genuine kindness in places he least expected. One afternoon, after riding non-stop for hours, he rested beside a kiosk. Two kids ran past, laughing. A woman selling roasted plantain fanned her charcoal fire while humming an old song. A bus conductor shouted destinations at the top of his lungs. Emeka watched it all and thought, so this is the Lagos nobody shows you from Ikoyi. The heat was brutal. Many customers were impatient. The traffic was madness. But somehow, through all of it, Emeka's heart softened. He began to respect people more. He understood struggle more deeply. He appreciated simplicity in a way he never had. The billionaire who once lived above the clouds was now living among the people. And for the first time in years, he didn't feel lonely. He didn't know it yet, but this double life, this crazy decision to abandon wealth and carry packages on a Bajaj, was guiding him towards something powerful. Something unexpected. Something real. Something life-changing. Because destiny had arranged for him to meet someone. Someone who would rewrite his story completely. Someone who would prove that love doesn't need money to exist, but before that moment arrived, Emeka had to fully settle into this new world, one filled with dust, noise, strangers, and unpredictability. A world where nobody knew his name. A world that would eventually lead him to the one thing he had always longed for. True love. It was a calm Wednesday morning, one of those days when Lagos wasn't behaving like Lagos. The usual madness was still there, horns, shouts, rushing footsteps, but the air felt lighter. Emeka had already completed 4 deliveries when his phone buzzed with a new request. Destination, Nnenna Stitches and Styles, Ogba, Lagos. It didn't seem different from any other tailoring shop. Another customer. Another passer. Another, good afternoon, your order is here. But destiny has a way of hiding miracles in normal moments. When Emeka arrived at the shop, he parked his Bajaj under a mango tree and removed his helmet. The tailoring shop was small but colorful, decorated with Ankara fabrics, mannequins, and cheerful pieces of cloth hanging everywhere like artwork. He stepped inside, and that was the first time he saw her. Nnenna. Wearing a simple yellow top, measuring tape around her neck, her hair tied back carelessly, and a smile so warm it could calm a Lagos traffic jam. She looked at him with eyes that didn't judge, didn't measure, didn't scan him from top to bottom. Just eyes that saw a person. Good afternoon, she said, standing from her sewing machine. Her voice was soft, but steady. Friendly, but not flirty. Emeka handed her the small package. Delivery for Nnenna. She wiped her hands on a cloth and collected it gently. Thank you. You even came on time. You delivery guys really try, honestly. Hit no day finish person. Emeka froze for a second. Kindness. Real kindness. For him. Not for his money, not for his status. For him. The delivery guy. He nodded. We dey push am. Now work. You want cold water? She asked. He blinked. Cold water. Yes now. At least cool your body small. He didn't remember the last time someone offered him something out of pure humanity. No hidden agenda. No expectation. Just simple kindness. She brought him a chilled sachet of water from a small fridge. Thank you, he said quietly. You're welcome, she replied, smiling again. Come back anytime. Even if you're not delivering something. He didn't understand it, but something shifted inside him that day. Something small but powerful. A seed. She stood out from every woman he had known. She didn't look at him like a wallet. She didn't treat him like a servant. She didn't flirt. She didn't act entitled. She was simply herself. And weirdly, that was more than enough. The following week, Emeka received another order from Nnenna's shop. Then another. And another. Sometimes she ordered small sewing materials. Sometimes thread. Sometimes nothing important at all. He didn't know it yet, but she kept selecting his delivery ID on purpose. Each time he walked into her shop, his day became lighter. They started talking more, small conversations at first. How's traffic today? You done chop? This rain SEF, they let person rest. But over time, those small conversations became deeper. She told him about her dream of owning a big fashion house one day, a place where Lagos celebrities go to sew their outfits. She told him about her mother in Enugu whom she supported monthly. She told him about her struggles, rent, fuel for her generator, the stress of sewing through the night. But she never complained like a victim. She spoke like a fighter. Sometimes Emeka would sit quietly and listen, amazed by her resilience. A woman building her dreams with her bare hands. No shortcuts. No sponsors. No pretense. One day she asked, "So tell me about you. They talk about yourself." Emeka smiled awkwardly. "What you want know?" "Everything. How long you've been riding? Wetin you dream about?" "My dream." He paused. "To find someone who loves me for me." She looked at him closely. "You sound like somebody we don't see life." "You have no idea," he whispered. She didn't push. She didn't judge. But what surprised him most was how she motivated him. "Don't give up," she said one evening. "This Lagos fit break person, but no fit break who gets good heart." She didn't know she was talking to a billionaire. Yet she encouraged him like someone who believed greatness was already inside him. Every night when Emeka returned to his small apartment, he thought about her. Not because she was perfect, but because she was genuine. And that terrified him. The more Emeka grew closer to Nnenna, the more guilt chewed at him. He was falling for her, hard. But she only knew Emeka the delivery man, not Emeka the billionaire. What if she felt betrayed? What if she never forgave him? What if he was repeating the same thing he was trying to escape, lies? Each time he visited her shop, a voice whispered, "You are lying to her." On top of that, his tech company was beginning to feel the pressure. Emails piled up. His board needed him. Investors wanted updates. He was balancing two different worlds like a man carrying two buckets of water on a tightrope. Then came the biggest shock. His closest friend, Victor, discovered his secret. Victor stormed into his Agege apartment. "Emeka, what is this nonsense? You're riding bike. Delivering goods. Are you mad?" Emeka explained everything. Love. Heart. Disguise. Nnenna. Victor stared at him like he had grown two heads. "What if she finds out and leaves you? What if someone recognizes you? What if this whole thing backfires?" For the first time, Emeka was afraid. Afraid of losing Nnenna. Afraid of losing himself. Afraid of hurting the only woman who had unknowingly healed him. He was trapped between honesty and fear. Between two identities. Between two worlds. One Saturday evening, something happened that forced everything into the open. Nnenna had called him urgently. "Please, Emeka, help me. I need a quick delivery to a client before her event. I know won't disappoint her." He rushed to her shop, picked up the gown, and sped through the streets of Lagos. But just as he approached the client's address, a reckless Danfo driver hit his motorcycle. Not hard enough to kill him, just enough to throw him off balance. He hit the ground badly. The gown got stained. His arm bruised. His helmet cracked. When he got up, the crowd surrounded him, trying to help. Someone recognized him, not as the billionaire, but as the delivery guy who always smiles. He limped back to Nnenna's shop, ashamed and in pain. She rushed to him. Jesus! Emeka, what happened? When she saw the torn gown, she covered her mouth. But instead of shouting or blaming him, she held his injured arm. You're hurt, you're bleeding, why didn't you go to hospital? And in that moment, her fear, her care, her concern, something inside Emeka broke completely. He couldn't lie anymore. He couldn't pretend anymore. He sat down, shaking, breathing heavily, and whispered, Nnenna, I need to tell you something. My name is Emeka Obi. But I am not who you think I am. She froze. What do you mean? I'm not a real delivery rider. I'm the owner of Megalink. I'm a billionaire. The room went silent. Her eyes widened. Her hands trembled. She stepped back slowly, as if the air between them had suddenly changed. You lied to me, she whispered. Emeka felt his heart crash. He nodded, tears welling in his eyes. She turned away, breath unsteady. Disappointed. Confused. Heartbroken. The moment he feared the most had finally come. The small shop felt heavier than ever. The hum of the sewing machine had stopped. The street noise outside faded. All that remained was silence and truth. Emeka sat with his head bowed. Nnenna, I didn't mean to hurt you. I swear. I just wanted someone to see me, not my money. 4. She stood still, her eyes filled with disbelief and pain. So, everything was a lie, she whispered. No, he said softly. The delivery jacket was a disguise. But the man you talked to, the man who listened to your dreams, the man who cared for you, that was me. All of it. He told her everything. His heartbreaks. His loneliness. How women used him. How he wanted to feel ordinary again. How meeting her changed him. How her kindness made him fall in love in ways he didn't expect. By the time he finished speaking, his voice was breaking. Nnenna turned away, wiping tears from her eyes. It hurts, Emeka. It hurts that you didn't trust me enough to show me your real self. He nodded. I was afraid. Afraid you'd treat me differently. Afraid of losing the peace I found with you. She looked at him again. This time, slowly. Deeply. Searching his face. Searching his sincerity. And then she sighed, long and heavy. Emeka. I don't know if I can forgive you immediately. But I also cannot deny that the man I've grown to care about is you. Not the billionaire. You. It wasn't forgiveness. But it wasn't rejection either. It was hope. That moment became the turning point of their relationship. The next weeks were delicate. Slow. Careful. Nnenna visited him in Agege to check on his injuries. Sometimes she cooked for him. Sometimes she simply sat with him silently. Then one day she said, if we are going to continue, I need to know your word too. All of it. So Emeka took her to Ikoyi. She entered his mansion for the first time, wide-eyed, overwhelmed, but not intimidated. She didn't scream or take pictures. She walked through the rooms quietly, absorbing everything. This is beautiful, she whispered. But her tone wasn't greedy. It was grateful. Then she met his friends, including Victor, who didn't hide his surprise. So you're the woman making our guy do crazy things? Victor joked. Nnenna smiled politely. I didn't make him do anything. Love made him honest. Victor blinked, impressed. Later, Emeka brought her to his company. Megalink headquarters, glass walls, innovation labs, hundreds of employees. As he walked her through the building, workers greeted him respectfully. Some bowed. Some called him a sir. Some gave him quick updates. Nnenna watched everything quietly. Most women he had dated before would have pretended, exaggerated, or shown off. But Nnenna remained exactly who she was, humble, composed, grounded. At the rooftop, as they watched the city skyline, she said softly, "Emeka, you may be a billionaire, but you're still just a man. A good one. And I don't want your money. I just want honesty." For the first time since revealing the truth, Emeka felt peace wash over him. She wasn't in love with his wealth. She was in love with his heart. That was all he ever wanted. 3 months later, Emeka planned something unforgettable, but simple. No fancy hall. No fireworks. No luxury cars. He took her back to the place everything started, the front of a small tailoring shop. He arrived on the same Bajaj motorcycle, wearing the same delivery jacket, but this time, not in disguise. When she stepped outside, surprised, he held her hand. "This bike brought me to you. This shop introduced me to the realest woman I've ever known. I don't want to start a new life without the place where I found mine." Then he knelt down on the dusty sidewalk, customers staring, Okada men pausing, traffic slowing. "Nnenna, will you marry me? Not because of who I am, but because of who you've helped me become." Her hands flew to her mouth as tears filled her eyes. She didn't answer with words at first. She knelt too, and hugged him tightly. "Yes, Emeka. Yes. 100 times yes." The street erupted in cheers. People clapped. Some shouted blessings. An Okada rider screamed, "Love don't win oh." For Emeka, it was the perfect proposal. Real. Raw. Honest. Just like the love he found. This story teaches us something powerful. Love is not about money. Not about status. Not about material things. It's about sincerity. Character. Connection. Truth. A billionaire found real love only when he stopped pretending and allowed himself to be seen, truly seen. So to everyone watching this, may you find a love that sees you. A love that builds you. A love that stays honest. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, share this story with someone who believes in true love. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories begin where we least